Since the dawn of your time, there were stories passed down from parent to child. Some were of action, of strength, and of love, whilst others were more gentle and mild. I traveled light years just to hear them and capture them here in my book. And now that you found me up here on this rock, maybe you'll come take a look. For the sun is now setting to twilight, and soon it will be time to rest. But before then, let's hear this story. Sit and listen, my friend. Be my guest.
Each summer at school, we'd often go camping. Our whole class packed tight on one bus. I'd sit at the back with all of my friends, and it would soon end up causing a fuss. I remember one trip more than most of the rest, when a boy tried to sit alongside me. His name was Allan, and I turned him away. Didn't treat the poor kid very kindly. As he made his way back down the long, lonely aisle, searching for somewhere to sit, I watched as my friends started laughing at him, and I felt a bit bad, I'll admit. But the feeling soon passed as our bus pulled away, and I forgot all the meanness I dealt. But I did not know then, as I laughed with my friends, that I'd soon know how he must have felt. Our camp was based in the woods by a lake, and our teachers would set us all tasks. They sent us all out to gather firewood and water from the lake in our flasks. They kept a close eye on me and my friends, as they knew we were less than productive. So I tried to be good, and to do as they'd asked, was determined to be less disruptive. So I went on my own to gather supplies, and found myself deep in the trees. I enjoyed the peace there as I picked up some wood and listened to the insects and bees. But then a strange whistling could be heard from nearby. It was so odd, it caused me to freeze. I slowly knelt down behind a big log as someone strolled quickly nearby. They had a strange face with huge floppy ears, either side of one large rounded eye. I poked my head up from behind the big log, but the being I could no longer see. Then a crack of a branch caused me to spin round, to find him stood right behind me. "Hello," he said then, as I fell on my back, the shock almost too much to bear. "I did not mean to scare you, my friend," he said, as I tried not to stare. We stayed like that for what seemed like an hour. Then finally he spoke once again. Said, "I imagine it's strange to meet someone like me. May we start by me asking your name?" "It's Jake," I said, as he held out his hand, and slowly helped me to my feet. "My name is Clark," he then said to me. "It's a pleasure that we could both meet." "Are you from up there?" I asked Clark then, as I pointed my finger to space. He nodded and said he was on a school trip to meet members of our human race. Then he laughed as he turned to start walking. Said, "You sure have an oddly shaped face." "That's rich," I said as I rushed to keep up. "Most people I know have two eyes. Why have two when you can simply have one?" Clark said as I stopped in surprise. "How old are you then?" I asked in a rush. 100, he replied as he smiled. "It might seem old as a human of Earth, but where I'm from, I'm still just a child." We continued to talk as we walked through the woods, and I helped Clark to learn about Earth. And I told him the names of the things that we saw, and he asked me about all their worth. So I spoke then of bees spreading pollen, and that trees made us able to breathe, and that everything there had a reason for being. There were some that he might not believe. We came to a clearing, and Clark stopped in his tracks. Said thank you for that information. Then he asked if I'd like to see his spaceship, and I nodded without hesitation. So he let out a whistle and looked up above, and his spaceship appeared in the sky. Then more of his friends walked out from the trees, and each one of them too had one eye. "What are you doing?" the first of them asked. "This human can't visit our ship. He's not one of us and he looks a bit weird. Our status will undoubtedly dip." That made me feel awful, but Clark grabbed my arm. "So this human is my newest friend. I know he's different and looks a bit odd, but that won't cause our friendship to end." So the ship came down, and we both climbed aboard, but I can't quite describe what I saw. There were plants and creatures and big glowing rocks. I stared at them all quite in awe. But the thing that amazed me more than anything else was how Clark had stood by me before. When it came time to leave, I shook my friend's hand, said no one is going to believe me, and Clark winked his eye and said, "Farewell, Jake," and I replied to say, "Clark, take it easy." As the ship flew away, I snuck back to camp, found my class sat in groups by the tents, and my friends called me over and made room for me, but I remembered that morning's events. So I walked past them all and went to find Allan. He was sat by a fire on his own. I asked him if we could talk for a while. Didn't want him to sit there alone. "Sorry about earlier," I said as I sat. "I realized now I was mean." And he let out a smile as I leaned in close and said, "Try to guess where I've been."